Hi, my name is Amreen Bukhari, and I have more than 13 years of teaching experience. I've been teaching IT to high school and IGCSE classes. I've been teaching programming languages as well. So today I will tell you about some basic Excel functions which are very useful when we do some work in Excel. So let's start. Let me share the file. Okay, these are the functions that I will tell you about today. Average, which calculates the average or mean of a given range of values. And sum, which calculates the total or sum of the given values. SUMIF, which calculates the sum if some criteria meets, or sum of some specific value. If you want to calculate the sum of some specific value, I'll tell you about how to do it. Okay, count gives the total count of a of a particular thing or particular value. Count applies only on numeric values, like the number values. Count A is similar to count, but count A also calculates the it also counts the values which have some letters. Then count if is used if some specific criteria meets. It counts only if some specific criteria meets. Then min is for calculating the minimum value or the smallest value of the range, and max is to calculate the maximum or the biggest value of the range. Then there are some bonus functions also that I'll tell you about: concat and VLOOKUP. Okay, concat is used to combine the two strings or of values. Okay, to make it one, like your first name and last name, we can make it one name only. And VLOOKUP is used to look up for like one value in some other table or a range of values. Okay, so let's start. So here we have an Excel file with some some dummy data that I downloaded from internet. So these are the order numbers, and these are the product descriptions for these orders. Okay, product ID and the quantity, how much, how of that product was bought, and item cost, like single item, how much it costs, and we have to calculate the sale price. And there's a customer ID, but we don't have the customer name in this file. Okay, like in the sales spreadsheet, we don't have that. We have another spreadsheet here, which is a customer list. Okay, we can get some values from here as well. So first, let's start. What is the total sales of the month? So for total sales of the month, first we have to calculate the sales price, then we will calculate the total of that sales price, right? So sales price is not given here, but we know that like the quantity is given and the single item cost is given. Okay, so to calculate the sales price for that particular item, like blue polka dot wrap. Suppose we want to calculate the sales price for this item. First, click on that cell, first cell. Okay, type equal, and then click on the quantity, first quantity. Okay, and in Excel for multiplication, we use star. Okay, then click on the item cost. Okay, we will multiply the quantity and the item cost to get the sales price for that particular item in this order. So we have the first sales price. Okay, to get the rest of the sales price, we will copy the formula down. We can drag it down, and we can just select this corner, and it's called the fill handle, and we will double click it, and we will get all the sales prices of this whole range of values. So we have all the sale prices. Okay, suppose this is the month data. So what is the total sales of the month? Okay, so let's write it here in the sum. What's the total sales of the month? We will use the sum formula, sum function, sorry. So This is the sum function. We can type it. We can go to fx also. We can get it from here. I find it easier to type it a little bit and afterwards double clicking it, and it will bring some of it. And click on the fx, it will bring the dialog box for entering the function. Okay. Okay. So this is the total sales of the month. Okay. So average, what is the sales average? Okay, so we will again calculate the average of the month. Okay, so for this sales price column, so write equal, start typing average, average will come. Okay, so we can write that, and similar as before, we will select the, so now we have some of the sales and also the average sales of the month. What is the total sales of the product item red kitchen scale? Okay, some if function is used when like it sums up the values if some certain criteria meets. Okay, here the criteria that we want to look for is red kitchen scale. Okay, so it will sum up the values which have like how many times that red kitchen scale came in the like in this list. Okay, so we can write the function here equal. Again start typing, and this list of functions comes up. Just double click it, and you can see here now it has a range and a criteria and a sum range also. Like these are only names, so we cannot sum names. We have to sum some numeric values, right? The price of that item. So we have to give the range as this because the criteria that we have is in like is a name. Okay, it's a string. It's not a numeric value. Okay, so for the criteria, sum range is the one that will be calculated. Okay? So in the sum range, we have a scale. It's not scale. I did not write an S here. Okay, let's here. Yeah. Now we can see it came like 739.5 was the amount that was spent like for the red kitten scale. So let's start for the count. So this question, how many product IDs have only numbers in them? We have product IDs here which are numeric and some have some letters in them. Okay, so we use the count function to count only the number of times some numeric value appeared in a range. Okay, so we use count function for it. Okay, and we give the range of values from which we have to count the value. Those values which are numbers. Okay. Now, how many product IDs have letter in them? Okay. Now, there are many product IDs with letters in them. And there is a function count A that is used to count the numbers and letters. Okay. So we can we have the numeric count and we have the values with number and letter count. First count that. Use count A. Yeah. Close the bracket. And we have now count of letters and numbers. You can see this count is bigger because it's the same range, but count A gives you 1998, where count gives you only 1765. This is the count of only those values which are numeric, and this count A gives you the count of values which are numeric and with letters. Okay, so like how many product IDs have a letter in them? Okay, to calculate that, we will minus the count of numeric values from the total count. Okay, so let's write this formula here. Okay, so this minus this. Okay, so we have 233 product IDs which have letters in them. How many orders are there for product name enamel flower jug cream? Right, equal count if. Okay, so if you fx, you can see there's a range and there's a criteria. Okay, so here we have range of product names, and we have to see how many times this enamel flower jug came in that product range. Okay, we do okay, and we know now it came 4 times. Now let's do this question. What is the least cost amount? Okay, the smallest cost amount. So we use the minimum function for that. Okay, write the minimum function and give the range of values. Okay, and what is the highest cost amount? So let's do the highest cost amount again. Write the maximum function for that and give again the cost amount. So we have the minimum cost, which is 0.42, and the maximum cost, which is 1,910. Okay, for this question, write the full names of the customer. Okay, we have customer ID here, but we don't have the full names here in this sheet. But we have another sheet here, customer list. Okay, but here also we have customer first name and customer last name, but we don't have the full name. Okay, so for calculating the full name, select the cell first cell, and then write the concatenate function. Yeah, so select this, okay, and select fx. First text is this, okay. Second text is put a space between these, okay. And the third text we give the last name. Okay. So the first name is Karen Parks. So double click it and it will copy the formula down. Okay, we have all the customer names now. So here we have customer ID and here we have customer names. So we have to look up for this ID in the other table to find the customer name. For that, we use the VLOOKUP function. Okay, so let's do this VLOOKUP. Then what is the lookup value here? We will look up this customer ID and we will look this up in this table, customer table. Okay, select that table. Okay, what is the column index? In which column do we have the answer? Right, 4. And what is the range lookup? If it is 0, we have the exact match. Okay, so we have Lily Backwell. But the problem is when we copy this formula down, it will work for some function, some of the values, but for some values it will not work. Because when we copy it down, the table values change. Okay, the table reference changes. So we have to give the absolute reference for this table. Okay, so select this and press F4 or FN F4 if you have a laptop. Okay, and press enter. So we have given a absolute reference for that. And just copy this formula down. Thank you so much for watching the video and goodbye.